Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In today's video, we are going to discuss about the recent decision taken by the President of US Donald Trump to build an Iron Dome defense system, which is going to be much more advanced than the Israelis' Iron Dome system that protect it against the enemy's strike. Now, if we try to understand about the context of this particular topic, so many times in the news, we are seeing a debate that is coming up that whether United States is preparing for a space war after triggering trade wars across the world. We know that after coming into power, Donald Trump has unleashed a tariff on many of the countries, both including enemy countries, rival countries, we can say, or the friendly countries. And in the next page, he has now started to basically take a decision in the sector of the defense, where he has given a lot of directive to the defense secretary of the United States to come up with an Iron Dome like defense system, or we can say anti-air system. Now, Donald Trump, after taking oath as the president, has signed an executive order titled the Iron Dome America. Now, as per this particular executive order, it seems that US is gearing to counter the next generation hypersonic missile threats. I specifically talk about the missile threats that might face in the near future from the countries with which US has stressed and tense relationships, such as North Korea, China, or even Russia. So basically, to neutralize this hypersonic, ballistic, and cruise missile threats, the Donald Trump has signed the Iron Dome America executive order, and US is now on the path of developing such a kind of defense system. Now, in this context, we also have to understand that when the question was asked in front of Trump that whether he is concerned or he is going to unleash an arms race by focusing upon hypersonic missile development or anti-air defense system, he has clearly dismissed this idea, and he again has reiterated the view point that he said during his oath taking ceremony, that he want to leave his legacy of a president as a president who was a peacemaker, who were responsible for withdrawing US forces from many areas where it does not have any kind of what you can say objective to fulfill, or not involving US in the war which does not directly impact its own interest. So he has asserted that the program is aimed at advancing peace through strength. That means by development of either both hypersonic missiles or by development of Iron Dome like defense system. It is a show of strength which will act as a deterrence. How same in the same way how nuclear weapons act as a deterrent. So he has said that America is fulfilling our destiny as a peacemaker, but it is peace through strength. Peace not by showing cowardice, peace not by not involving in the development of the weapons and arms. Now, if you look at the Iron Dome system, the Iron Dome term is popularly used to refer to the Israel's defense system, which introduced the concept of a very robust air defense system, which has basically protected Israel's people and its territory against a massive attack that was launched a few months back continuously, we can say, over the past years, either from the regions of Syria or from the region of Lebanon by the Hezbollah, or through the Gaza Strip region. So this kind of air defense system that Israel has developed is referred as Iron Dome. So it has become a globally recognized term for the air defense system. Now, as far as the America's air defense system or Iron Dome project is concerned, Donald Trump has clearly stated that it is going to be much more advanced than the Israel system itself. So let us first of all try to understand Israel's Iron Dome system, because America's Iron Dome system detail still is not made public. The development is underway. Now, as far as this system is concerned, it is designed to intercept missiles, rocket, and mortar attacks that are launched from a distance between 4 to 70 kilometers. The reason is because most of the Israelis' enemy territory are very close to its border, so there is very less risk or zero chance of any missile being launched from thousands of kilometers away, at least toward Israel. So that is why this defense system is largely having range of 4 to 70 kilometers. Second, the Israeli air defense system is equipped with a missile that is referred as THAAD missile. Now, THAAD missile also were developed by the United States Department of Defense, more precisely in contract or in we can say in cooperation with a private contractor called as Lockheed Martin. So they have developed this THAAD missile, and THAAD missile is a very important component of this entire Iron Dome system. Now, as opposed to the Israelis' Iron Dome system, US's Iron Dome will have capability to neutralize a long-range missile, because if you look at the geography of United States, it does not have any enemy cross its border or near its border. And the reason is because of the different, and that is why it has a different nature of threat as far as the US and Israel is concerned. Now, before going into that, let us try to understand what is the THAAD missile. So THAAD stands for Terminal High Altitude Area Defense, and it basically use or work by intercepting the missile threat or any kind of threat that is originating from the nearby area. So example, in the first step, it is made up of a radar system. So the radar system basically detects the threats and estimates the impact point where the missile can fall down. Then in the second stage, weapon is assigned and the target is engaged. So we have the weapon that is launched by looking at the missile or the incoming missile. Then in the third stage, after the launch, the booster that overall basically you can say that sends the missile along its path splits or separates from the kill vehicle and track the target before colliding with it. And finally, the target is destroyed by using the kinetic energy, because both of these objects, the incoming missile and then the launched missile as a defense system, are traveling at very high speed. So by using this kinetic energy, what happens? This entire missile target is destroyed. So that is how the overall Iron Dome defense system or the THAAD defense system works. Now we have discussed that US cannot have the similar system because Israel's threat is different from US. Reason is because if you look at the Israel's map, here you have the Israel and most of its enemies, we can say, are surrounding it. For example, the missile launch that Israel largely witnessed is from the nearby areas of Syria, at least as long as the Bashar al-Assad government was in power. Second is it also faces launch and attack from the nearby territory of Gaza Strip, that is on the western side, where again indirectly Iran is involved. Then apart from this, third you have the missile launch that it witnesses is from the Lebanon, that is again having a border with it, which where the Hezbollah group is largely operating. So that is why the 4 to 70-kilometer range is more than enough for the Iron Dome defense system of Israel to. Now, apart from this, if you take a look at the US, now we know that the major enemy from which US has the risk of missile attack are China, that is far away, thousands of kilometers away. Then similarly, other major threat that it has is from the Russia, which again is thousands of kilometers apart. Third is the North Korea. So all of these enemy countries, or we can say at least from where US has a risk of missile attack, are thousands of kilometers away. And that is why the Iron Dome defense system of US will focus on developing such system which can averse the or which can counter such kind of strike. So the greatest threat that US faces is not from the mortars, not from the grenade launchers, rocket attacks, but rather from the hypersonic missiles. Now, what do we mean by the term hypersonic missile? Overall, if you talk about the missile system, it can be classified as supersonic, hypersonic, and even subsonic. Now, supersonic means that when the missile is traveling between the Mach 1 to Mach 5 speed, and if the missile is traveling at Mach 5 and higher speed, then it is termed as hypersonic. Now, Mach 5 simply refers to the speed that is 5 times the speed of sound. Mach 1 basically refers to the speed of sound itself. That means the hypersonic missile can be classified as such missile which are traveling at 5 times the speed of sound, and they represent the most advanced missile technology that have been developed in the world by several countries, or many countries are still involved in development of this missile system in the last 40 years. Now, this missile glides the atmosphere at hypersonic speed as we have discussed, and the other challenge that the missile defense system will have to face is that if you talk about the ballistic missiles, their trajectories are fixed. That means their trajectory after launch cannot be altered, cannot be changed, and that is why it is much more easier to engage such missile. On the other hand, we talk about the hypersonic missile, their trajectory can be altered after the launch also, and that is why it becomes very difficult for it to be engaged, making them extremely difficult to even detect as well. As a result, they evade the anti-missile defense system effectively. So this is the point, or this is the concern that US will have to take into consideration before development of Iron Dome. Now the question that might come into your mind, that which are the countries that largely have developed hypersonic missile defense system? So several countries are there. Obviously the first is the US itself, where it has developed the AGM Arrow missile system that is having a top speed of Mach 20. That means 20 times the speed of sound. This is the speed at which the missile travels. Range is 1000 miles, and launch platform is, it can be launched by aircraft, that is a B-1 bomber. Second successful attempt in hypersonic missile launch was conducted recently by Russia, where it has launched a Zircon missile with a top speed of Mach 9, range between 621 miles, and a cruising altitude of 90,000 feet. It can be launched again either by the submarine or by the ship. And third is China also has stated its overall, what you can say, capabilities by launching DF-17, which is having a speed of Mach 5. That means 5 times, that is from where the hypersonic speed start, with a range of 1600 miles per hour, cruising altitude of 196,000 feet, and it can be launched by the ground vehicle. That means it will be a kind of surface to air missile. So US, Russia and China, these are the leading countries as far as the hypersonic missile system is concerned. Now, apart from these countries, there are several countries as well which are reportedly are in the phase of developing hypersonic weapons technology as far as the World Economic Forum's report is concerned. Now, these countries are Australia, then you have India, then we have 2 European countries, that is Germany and France, and then finally you have countries such as Japan as well. Apart from this, some countries such as Brazil, Iran, talk about both North Korea and South Korea, they have conducted research or they have testing related system related to hypersonic weapons ready. So this is how we can understand currently the status of hypersonic system in the world. Now, if you look exactly what Donald Trump's order is all about, so first of all, he has obviously acknowledged the threat from the hypersonic missile system, and that is why he has directed the Defense Secretary of the United States, that is Pete Hegseth, to within a 60-day time frame draft a plan for the Iron Dome. He also have emphasized upon strengthening in this context so that the missile development can happen, anti-air defense system can develop at a much more faster pace. We should have a bilateral and multilateral cooperation with allied and partner nations in missile defense technology development capabilities and operations. And also for this, he has asked for funding, and while addressing the Republican party members, he has asked for recommendations on funding the Iron Dome project before the finalizing fiscal year 2026 budget proposal. Also, he has stated that we defend other countries, but we do not defend ourselves. Obviously, he has referred to the Israel's Iron Dome defense system, because here the largest contributor in terms of the third missile I told you is the none other but the US itself. On the other hand, US does not have the such system for itself as well. So that is what Trump is talking about. And America will intercept any foreign air attack on its soil and protect its citizens and critical infrastructure against such threat. That is the overall stated objective of the US Iron Dome system. So that is all about this particular video. If you like the video, please hit the like button, share it with your fellow aspirants, as well as subscribe to our channel for more such content. Thank you very much.